This zone is restricted. Get away! There you are, a clear shot.
Alright, so getting into the build, I run actually a 5-piece Tactician build. I do not run a 6-piece. I use a Barrett's chest piece. It gives you a little more oomph towards your skill power. I'll explain some of that in a second. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and start looking at the build. First off, I use 2 lower level guns. I actually used one I made from a blueprint, from a 182 blueprint. The reason being is if you use lower level guns, you can actually have lower requirements for their talents to open up. As a tactician, I put all my stuff into electronics, so I have a 10,000 electronics. My ACR here, I have destructive for their shields, I have ferocious for damage versus elite and named enemies by 10%, and have critical hit damage by 15%. Not going to read off everything I have when it comes to the mods on the guns, but you can take a look. I really rely on this one on heavy crit damage and crit chance, which is kind of odd for an automatic, but it helps out a lot, I feel. For my secondary gun, I use a Navy MPS, and what I like to do on that one is I like that as my healing gun. Tacticians tend to be squishy builds. So this gun, when I equip it, what happens is your guns actually are affected by your sticky bombs and your seeker mines. This one has a lot of healing stuff on it. If I'm down by a lot of health, it actually increases damage. And what I do is if you throw your seeker mines while this gun is equipped, it'll heal you. If I have the other gun equipped, any of the bonuses I have on there apply to my seeker mines and stickies also. So, for example, the destructive, where you're breaking their shield, all your sticky bombs and your seeker mines actually get that talent too. Really important which gun you use. That's why you want all the talents open. For the first piece here, I have my Barrett's Bulletproof Vest. No skills on cooldown, increases your skill power by 10%. I've taken a look. My skill power actually goes up into the 450s range, sometimes a little higher depending. All my mods I tend to use are mostly skill haste and obviously electronics to boost up my electronics to 10 grand. My second piece, obviously all the rest of these are Tactician. I have for my attributes, I have enemy armor damage is always a plus, and also damage to elites. These are the key things that are going to raise all the damage to all of the enemies that you have. You'll notice when you use this mod or this setup that you won't do as much damage, it seems like, to the red barred people or the purple barred enemies, because these are mainly set for the higher end enemies. With the Tactician build, I run the 5-piece, you get all the skill bonuses, all the perks for that. On my knee pads, I'm doing enemy armor damage and again damage to elites. And again, the emphasis on skill power and skill haste. Again, I have electronics. I'm adding actually skill power on this one because as any basically level, 50% bonus to your skill haste is the most you can get. I believe we'll see in a little bit here that I'm running around a 45 or 43% because I wanted a little bit more skill power because that helps with your damage. Next up we have the holster. This one has skill haste on it, and I went with the 4% again on the sticky bomb damage. Can't emphasize enough, always go for the max amount. 4% is the max amount. You can do area damage or lower if you don't have it quite yet, but that's your goal, is getting all 4%. For the gloves, there's no modifiers, so I went with skill haste, assault rifle damage, and enemy armor damage. I use the assault rifle a lot, so that's why I went with that. The backpack, I went with ammo capacity on this one, just because I tend to spray a lot. So for me, it's critical having the extra bullets on hand. And then this one, I have my skill haste, I have sticky bomb damage, 2 of those. Okay, now we're going to go into a couple other key things that people don't tend to use a lot, but need to be known. First off, we're actually going to go into your abilities. Look at the general stuff right now. First up on my list is the sticky bombs. Obviously, I'm using the BFB, and we're looking at my base total goes all the way up to 1.25 million. That's not including all the other bonuses that you're going to get when you're actually launching that sucker. All the other stuff actually comes into account. That's where I can get actually up to 3.3 million and above. And typically on almost all my builds, I love running Seeker Mines. It's just damage producing. They also do the bleed damage. Kind of nice. Big fan of the MDR and other builds, which, deals on status effects. So Seeker Mines are a personal favorite. Plus you get multiple targets in all sorts of locations. The hidden gems in the talent trees, we've got a couple here that are really effective. We got the one applying bleed. That actually works really well for the Seeker Mines. Those things will make everything in the area bleed. The other one, police up, is a great skill because you have a 10% chance on every kill to refill all your ammo. Most important, chain reaction. This one is great for your sticky bombs. If you have multiple hostiles in the area that sticky bomb, you get an additional 20% more damage done from the blast. And then this one I have is basically for turrets, but I keep equipped on all my characters. Any kills extend the life of your turrets and any skill-based items you have. And looking over at my overall character stats, I'm running a low bonus 6% critical hit chance, but I have 106% extra critical hit damage if I do get a crit hit. Plus 80% on the headshot damage. And a lot of these I don't think people realize actually affect bombs and seekers. Your assault rifle percent damage 12% because that's my main weapon, but damage to elites I'm at a plus 38%. Enemy armor damage I'm at a plus 61%. Both those numbers are huge when you add that onto a sticky bomb's general damage to begin with, and those are kind of the numbers you're shooting for. At least right now, if I can try and get them higher, That's where I'm shooting for 4 million. And that's basically it. That is the setup. Right now, my record is 3.7 million on a shot. You saw that earlier in the video. Hopefully you guys can build on this, make this even better. There's a couple other pieces that you can play around with, backpacks, gloves, stuff like that. Let me know if you find anything else. That would be awesome. And good luck to you guys.